What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. You know, I wanted to have this conversation. The Cassie v. Diddy situation is definitely, I would say, the story of the year when it comes to celebrity news. Because listen, I get it. There are a whole lot of other serious things that are going on in the world. There's literally a war going on right now. Thousands of people have lost their lives over in Israel. And it's a whole freaking mess. It's a lot of stuff going on over the world, you know, in the Sudan. It's just a lot. So I'm not here to say that this is the most important thing that's going on right now. So I'm not going to be, you know, oblivious to what is going on in the world. But over here, you know, we just talk about certain things. And this is one of the things that is the topic of conversation right now. But I was thinking about it because, you know, a friend of mine who was also a client, she sent me some information, and I'm not too much on to the psychic news stuff and whatever. But I do believe that there are people that are seers, whether they use it for good or bad, whether they use it in a more prophetic way, like in the Christian world, or whether they're just making a profit off of it and they're psychics and mediums or whatever. But I do believe that there are people who have gifts of seeing and of knowledge, and even if it's stuff that they are not very familiar with. And there was these videos that my friend sent me. I'm going to put a link to those in the description box so that you can check them out. But this psychic, she was speaking on Kim Porter. And she was sharing a lot of information that it's just very ironic that these revelations have come out about all of the horrible demonic things that he subjected Cassie to over this 10-year span. And this psychic talked about Kim Porter's departure and some things that she saw as to how it happened. And then it made me start to think about Cassie. And yeah, she got this huge settlement. We believe it's huge. We don't know the dollar amount. And it is some misinformation that's been floating around because she did not sue him for $30 million. She filed a lawsuit against him, but his attorneys came out and said that he had previously offered her 8 figures that she had declined. But honestly, I don't care if she sued him for $500 billion. She deserves every single dime. And, you know, what really baffles me about some people, you know what, I'm not even going to go into that right now. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. But basically, I started thinking about this settlement that recently happened. And some people feel that she should have drugged this on longer. And they feel disappointed, and it's just about a check. But listen, in my personal opinion, just being beautifully honest, I don't know if it is going to be in her best interest to stay in the country. Now, we know that Sean Combs, I'm going to call him by his government name, not Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Love, all that other bullcrap. I'm sure that he could be eyeing his sights on moving out of the country because there are some countries that do not cooperate with the United States when it comes to extradition. And if it is possible that he could get criminal charges against him, I don't see him going down like R. Kelly. I know a lot of people would love to see him in an orange jumpsuit and would love to see him behind those bars, but I don't really see him going that route. He would probably do the Russell Simmons route and go to some country where the extradition laws are not acknowledged and they can just stay where they're at. But also, I just started thinking about her safety, her life, thinking about the loss of life that Kim Porter had unexpectedly. And there are rumors that she was in the process of writing a book. she knew a lot of dark, dirty secrets that she was going to be exposing about him and about his life. And then she just wound up, how ironic, because honestly, so much has happened from 2020 through 2022 when it comes to the pandemic, that sometimes it could cause people to think that she actually passed away from COVID. When she actually passed away in 2018, that was a couple of years before the pandemic hit in the States. Because I even had to remind myself. But yeah, they were saying that she had the flu or pneumonia or something, and she just died unexpectedly. So she didn't even die from COVID. She passed away from, some people believe, a setup. And those are just a lot of people's thoughts. There really is no proof. But a lot of people just feel that the way she passed away is very fishy. And she was pretty young. She was in her 40s. I want to say she was maybe 46 or 47. That's young. And so Cassie, now being a mother and a wife, I read back over Sean Combs's statement when it comes to the settlement that they had come to, right? And I read into that a little bit deeper to just make me think about some things where it comes to how this really isn't as amicable as they are trying to, or I wouldn't even say they are, or as he is trying to make it seem that it is. Because in his statement, he says, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." You know, in my personal opinion, just being beautifully honest, guys, I feel that she really needs to use those funds to truly insulate and secure herself and her family as much as possible, because she already knows what he is capable of. And I don't believe that this is the end for him when it comes to his attempts to try to take her down. Somebody like this, they don't just go away easily, even if it's something that they have to set up to make it happen for them, where it doesn't look like they have anything else to do with it. So for him to have these final words, shall we say, to her, "I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." To me, I read, "Girl, you're in danger." And I'm not speaking anything over her. I don't want anything to happen to her or her family. But if she has any sense about herself, she and her family, they would be hightailing it out of this country. And I'm not saying that it makes you safe to move to another country, but she really needs to do some things to secure herself and her family as much as financially possible. So going back into what I kind of cut off because I didn't want to go off on a tangent, but when I hear people make statements about it's just about the money, well, this is the way the justice system works. And those people who say, well, she was just wanting the money. Well, what was he wanting? What was he doing? He got what he wanted against her will, when, to be quite honest with you guys, and this is the other thing when it comes to this demonic narcissistic spirit, there are people out there that probably would have been honestly okay with living that type of life, where he didn't have to force himself on her. He didn't have to force her to do things with other people. He wouldn't have to force to do anything because they just really don't mind it. And I'm not even saying that there are people that just are really, really like that, where they like that type of stuff. But unfortunately, they have gone through a lot of things in their life where they kind of are at that place where they're okay with that. I don't believe that Cassie came from that type of life and background where that is the type of life that she was living. So to force someone into doing those things when there are people who would have been cool for the most part with living that type of life, you just really wanted to have that power over that person, that power of control, versus having someone who would just be willing and capable of doing all of those despicable, disgusting, devious, demonic things that you wanted to do. I mean, there are people out there that are really okay with that type of stuff. So to want to be with someone that you are forcing, that you are drugging, that they're having to get out of their mind to be okay with doing that type of stuff, when there have been people out there that have been like, yeah, I'll do it, you know? Let's go for it. How much is the job? And let's just get to it. And I will be there at your beck and call at all times. I will be your subservient sexual slave, you know? But he wanted to have that power and control dynamic over her because she was his employee. She was signed to his label. Like, this wasn't even someone that he just wound up getting in a relationship with. Like, no, you already started off on a power trip because you already had that control over her, you know? But for people who feel like, well, she just wanted the money. I don't hear these people saying, well, he just wanted a sexual slave. He just wanted someone that he could control. He just wanted someone that he could fetishize. He just wanted someone that he could drug and get drunk and take advantage of. You know, like, people just need to drop that when it comes to speaking about her and the money. This is the way this works in this justice system. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have gone through a lot of terrible, horrible things. And the people don't have anything that they could go after. They can't sue them for anything because they ain't got nothing, you know? So, I mean, honestly, he deserves to have nothing. She deserves to have it all. In my personal opinion, give me every bit of money. Give me all of your properties. Give me all of those masters of everybody else's music. You know what I mean? And mine. Give me everything. You don't deserve to even live anymore. If we just want to be quite real, if we just want to really be honest about it, for people to feel like he deserves any type of defending. I mean, yeah, in the justice system, even people who take people out, they have people that represent them and whatever. But honestly, there are just some things that you just cannot defend. So for anyone to just be trying to defend them, to say that she just wants the money, she deserves every bit of it and then some. He didn't deserve her. He didn't deserve to do the things that he did. He should be unalive. And I'm not saying that anyone should do that to him, but he doesn't deserve to live anymore. How demonic of you. Like, burn in hell for all of eternity. And then after eternity's done, burn in hell for another eternity. I mean, this is just, like, to me, unforgivable. I don't know how anyone could ever come out here and say, yeah, that's my guy. That's my dude. I'm standing by him. You know, that's not the man that I know. I haven't heard anyone even making any type of excuses, except for, not excuses. I haven't heard anyone standing up for him or saying that's just not like him. I don't know that to be the person that I have known all of these years. You know, the things that he has done, he has people looking even at his kids funny. And it's not fair because they didn't have anything to do with it. He has daughters. And he also, yes, he has sons. The seeds that we bear as children, they are a product of the tree that bore that fruit. I'm not speaking anything negative over the children, but all of those kids, they have something in them that is of their fathers. And when we have devious parents, we make choices. You're either going to go with the grain or against the grain. You're either going to go with the stream or against the stream. And I don't know any of his children. I really don't know a whole lot about them. But my open prayer is that they would go against the stream, because I don't know of anyone that may have been in any relationships with the sons. But could you see his sons doing anything to females that are similar to what he has done to Cassie? And who knows who else, because there are probably other women out there. This could be just opening up the floodgates. They could still do a surviving Diddy and not include Cassie, but this complaint, this lawsuit that has been filed that now will be dismissed because it has been settled with prejudice, meaning she can't file a lawsuit again. The paperwork is still there. So they could still do a surviving Diddy, surviving Puffy, surviving Puff Daddy, surviving Sean Combs, surviving Love, surviving all those freaking names, surviving Bad Boy Records. Like, they still could do that and include the complaint and not have one conversation with Cassie, because her words are already in the complaint. They really don't, she doesn't have to come out and speak anymore. Honestly, they could still do it. And I would implore whoever has directorial and producer resumes to get to it and do it, and to mute and mute Puff Daddy like they did the mute R. Kelly situation. This is just absolutely disgusting. And he didn't just do this to Cassie. There definitely are other bodies that are buried. Hopefully not literally, but just technically. But I'm just saying, I feel that she is not safe. She needs to do everything that she can to protect her and her family's safety. And that's her husband, her child, her mother, extended. She needs to do everything that she can to protect and insulate them, because you can believe, as long as this demon has freedom, he is going to go about some ways to try to have some stuff taken, or possibly have some lives taken. I just don't trust anything about him whatsoever. And all of that bullcrap, which I talked about previously, with him giving publishing back to the artists, and Aubrey came out and she made it known that I didn't do it. He wanted us to sign these extensive NDAs, and we couldn't talk about him. We couldn't talk about his mom. We couldn't talk about his children. We couldn't talk about this, that, and the other. Like, there was so many stipulations to it, and the money that would come with that would not even be worth it. So she did not sign it. But he wasn't doing that out of the goodness of his heart. He was doing that because he was already going back and forth with Cassie and her attorneys with this situation. He knew that this bombshell was going to be exposed, but he was trying to make it seem like he was doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Him giving Mace his publishing back after all these years, after Mace put him on blast. Mace came out and pretty much made a statement directly towards him on social media about how he's starving his artists, but he was calling for these networks and these award shows or whatever to be fair when it came to Black artists and whatever. And Mace came out and called him out on it, and so to turn around and make it seem like he was doing these things out of the goodness of his heart. No, my personal opinion is these negotiations were already going on, because this just happened recently with the publishing being given back to some of the artists. He wasn't doing that out of the goodness of his heart. He was trying to do some things to make it seem like he was doing it out of the goodness of his heart. But no, this is something that was already going down. It was already on the pipeline, and it was flowing, and it was eventually going to be released to the general public. It wasn't going to be encapsulated for much longer. So he knew that. This is just an entirely crazy and dark situation. I really hope and pray that she is wise with those funds and she does what she needs to do. If it's getting out of this country, going to an undisclosed, area, and doing what she has to do, protect her family or whatever, and having the security in place and making that money make money, because I don't know the amount that it was settled for, but when you get a large amount of money and you're not having that money make more money for you, then it's gone before you know it. Because a lot of times with people, when they get those large sums of money, they're living large lifestyles where the money does not go very far and very long. It's not like you can have that type of money and go live in the hood where you can live in a house that, might be $700 a month for rent or mortgage or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't. You can't. So this is a whole lot, but reading into that statement, to me, I read between the lines of this demon, and to me, him saying, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. No, to me, I read, be careful because you're in danger. Best of luck. And I'm nervous for her. So for anyone to come out and say that she took the easy way out and whatever, when she made her statement to say, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control, I believe that she's trying to prepare herself to cover and protect herself and her family, because the longer this could go on, like she said, the less control that she could probably have over this situation. But this is really scary. And I'm nervous for her. I can't even lie. I'm nervous for her. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. Until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye. Myself inside all this tension, a feeling I never was expecting. I don't see the pros, don't know